In this project, we're going to be creating a custom layout panel. Now this is going to have a little bit more to do in Visual Studio than some of our other projects have up to this date, but we're going to be going slow and I'll go ahead and explain each step as we go along. Now if you get lost at any point, don't worry too much, because if you look in your Part 3 Lesson 2 folder, you'll find the final version of our code file with all of the information already there. But try to follow along with me. You can see how that code evolved and how all the pieces that were in it got put there. Now I'm going to start by creating a new project, and I want to work in C#, and I need to give it a name. I'm going to call it Custom Layout. Now the first thing I need to do is I need to add a new code file to keep my new control in it. You can add control files onto the end of any C# document, but for best practices I want to put it in its own file. Blend doesn't have the ability to add new code files, so I need to use Visual Studio to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and edit my file externally, and Visual Studio gives me the usual warning. And from here, I need to add a new class. I'm going to right-click my project, and I'm going to go to Add, Class, and Visual Studio is going to ask me what kind of class do I want. Well, the default is fine. I'm going to call this my Overlap Stack Panel. What we're going to be doing is creating a stack panel that causes each element to partially overlap the previous element. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, there are a variety of reasons, and as we go along, I think you'll see some of the places where this particular layout control will come in handy. Now, the first thing, Visual Studio has gone ahead and given me a template. The namespace, Custom Layout, you'll notice that that matches the name of my project. And the class matches the name of the file that I added. If I switch over to Blend, if you look over in the Files Inspector, it doesn't see my new project yet. The reason is because I haven't saved everything over here in Visual Studio. Let me click the Save All button, and it's going to ask me if I want to save a solution. Now, if I were working with more than one project, the solution would be important, but here it doesn't really matter if I save it or not. However, if I don't save the solution, every single time I try to save something in Visual Studio, it's going to remind me again, hey, do you want to save this solution? And that's going to get a little bit annoying. So I'm going to go ahead and just say save here. And you won't see any difference in Blend. You'll just notice that my solution icon has gotten a little darker to indicate that my solution is saved. Now I'll switch back over to Blend, and it's informing me that my project has in fact changed. When I hit yes to reload it, you'll see that the overlap stack panel.cs now appears in my list. Now let's start making that control do something.